Hey, Parkway family, Pastor Derek. We say that we are real people walking with Christ, inviting others and serving together to reach our neighbors and the nations with the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's a proclamation type of posture and mode, but we live in a world right now that's telling us that we need to be in a preservation one, which I know is hard. Some of us want to fight that. Some of us want to kind of flee that. Some of us want to, be a little bit afraid of that, but we want to be focused on God during this time. We want to be focused on our neighbors and the nations during this time. And so the best way to love them is to honor some of the things that our medical professionals are asking of us. And that's tough. I get it. It's tough. So how do you do that with all that's going on inside of you? Well, you focus on God and you focus on others, okay? So as pastors and church leaders, we've been meeting and talking about how do we do this proactively? How do we do this practically together? Well, here's what God's given us. He's given us His Word. So as a church family, we want to memorize together this week, this first week together in kind of this new mode of operating online and other things like that, is let's memorize Luke 10:27 together, church. Okay, so Jesus answered this in Luke 10:27. He said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." So church family, would you memorize that with us? Would you dig that deep into your heart and plant it there? I know it should be really familiar and easy for most of us. We've probably heard that said a bunch. But say that when you get up in the morning, when you eat your meals throughout the day, when you have a snack, eat that together. And then at night before you go to bed, and challenge your whole family, man. Little kids all the way to the oldest in your family. Man, let's memorize this together. You can do it. I can do it together. I covenant to memorize that with you. Would you memorize that with me? So that's how we're going to do it. We're also going to pray that back to the Lord. So there's kind of 3 P's that Pastor Joe has mentioned today, and I think they're worthwhile sharing with you. So one, we want to pray. We're going to pray the word that we're memorizing back to God, and then we're also going to pray together at 10:02 a.m. every day and at 9:38 p.m. every day. So pray our 3210 that you've been praying with us, 3 gospel conversations, 2 a missionary and a church planner, and 1 to make disciples with, and then 0. Obviously, we want to continue to ask God to provide more abundantly than what we could ever ask or imagine, so as we seek to plant churches and to potentially add on to this building. But would you also join us in praying for a specific prayer request every day? We're going to send that out together as a church body to kind of keep us updated on prayer. Another way that you could do that is also let us know how we can pray. So you can do one of 2 things. You can either send an email to prayer@parkwayfamily.org or info@parkwayfamily.org and share with us a need. Who knows, there might be somebody out there within our church body that we know of that we could meet a practical need. Maybe there's somebody in your street that needs food, and there might come a day in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks where that might be kind of hard to come by. We want to be able to share those needs with one another. So prayer@parkwayfamily.org or info@parkwayfamily.org. But pray at 10:02 and at 9:38 p.m. every day. The second P is to partner together. Now you maybe say, how are we going to partner together when we're not even supposed to be getting together? Well, we're gonna get creative with that. One is this Wednesday night, we're going to have an online platform. So you just go to our website, parkwayfamily.org, and we're going to have a corporate prayer gathering and also a little bit of a teaching time and sharing time with us as a body of Christ that will be interactive. And so we'll explain that through an email that you'll get at some point this week, but we want to invite you to be part of that Wednesday at 6:30. And then the third P is to push forward together as the body of Christ. And the way we're going to do that is by again, we mentioned sharing needs, but also we need some information from you. So we want to send some information to you in ways that you can be praying, ways that you can be involved in your community, even during this kind of different time in our culture. But the way to do that is we're going to need some updated information. So if you would be so kind to go to parkwayfamily.org/involvement. Can you make sure we have your most recent phone number? That way we can text you, a recent email if something's changed for you, or even recent address. So if we have something that we can send, we can do that with one another. And so we're going to utilize some of that to be able to send some messages out in the coming weeks so that we don't get isolated as individuals, but we stay connected together with the body of Christ. Pastor Jonathan and Pastor Mac both said something really interesting today, that even though we're not gathering physically, you don't have to gather physically to be together, to love one another and to serve one another. So this is how we're going to stay connected, church body. Keep connected. Keep watching towards our social media platforms. And we're going to be sending out information really on an almost daily basis to try to encourage you to stay connected with God and stay connected with one another. If I had to sum up everything into two things, I would say love God and love your neighbor. We're going to be memorizing that together, and we're going to be living that out as the body of Christ. So I look forward to seeing you the best way that we can see one another. And right now, that's staying connected with God and connected with one another in this way. So God bless you.